Hey guys, Lara here. So today we're going to talk about how to pick the right career. What career should you choose? Got a few ideas for you. I'm going to throw them out there for you. So what you want to do is you want to pick a career that you are obviously going to be really good at. Like the best. Ideally, you want to succeed the most, and you want to put yourself in a position where you can build on your strengths and excel the most so that end game you can contribute the most. And I got that from Peter Drucker, his book Managing Oneself. So in order to be good at something, you have to put in many hours, like to master it basically. And according to the book called Talent is Overrated, the author basically studied the people who were the best in their field, like in all fields, from sports to medicine to being a CEO, running a company, to, working in the finance industry, like all the industries, being a musician. You need to put in the hours, roughly a decade, in order to truly master it so much so that you are one of the best, one of the top 5%. There's no way around putting in these hours, so it's really a good idea to pick an activity that doesn't feel like work, that you can just but engage yourself in for hours and hours and hours without looking at the clock. And okay, so you gotta pick a constructive activity. Not partying, not playing video games, not watching TV, but like some kind of activity. It could be playing music, writing. It could be a lot more complicated than that though. I mean, there's a lot of positions out there that call for a lot of different skills. So, maybe you just really like talking to people. I found that about myself, is maybe you just like sitting across from someone and really genuinely connecting with them. Well, obviously you should be in a type of position where you're always working with people because you're very social. Just think of different things in your life where you lost track of time, basically. And then you gotta reverse engineer that and figure out how to make it part of your life's work, or just your life's work. Don't be afraid to experiment. You could think that you really love something, but try to do it for several hours at a time and see if you still like it. I did that. I thought that I really liked writing. I was told I was really good at writing. I already knew I had some ability in it. So I wrote a book, and that takes many hours of writing, and I discovered I don't actually like it as much as I had thought. So definitely you might have to do some trial and error and some experimentation to figure out what it is that you can do for hours at a time, where you just lose yourself in the activity, and then you'll be able to build up the hours and build up the skill set to really excel. And lastly, I just think about the different aspects of a job that you should really assess yourself in. So I really recommend you read the book called Managing Oneself. It's a very short read. It took me like half an hour to read this book, but it really gives you a very practical, clear way to assess your natural strengths. So for instance, the author says, how do you learn? People learn in different ways. Do you learn by reading? Do you learn by writing? Do you learn by taking notes? Do you learn by talking it out? How do you figure things out? And I'm sure that you could think back on your life and know your style of learning. And then that obviously has to translate into your career. Otherwise, you're really gonna struggle. Like, if you have a career that involves a lot of writing and you just don't like writing, or a career that involves you interacting face to face with people all the time and you're not extroverted, that's gonna be a problem. Another thing that you might want to consider is, say you're 40 or 50 years old and you're just looking for a new career choice. What have you already been building your skills in? Because you've obviously been doing something for the last 20 years and you've been building up some kind of skill set. So if you can translate, some of your skill sets and strengths to whatever new career you choose, well, you've already put in the years, put in the hours, and then obviously you won't have to put in a full, then you won't have to start over. And even if you're like young, 18. You want to be a dancer. Started taking dance when you were 5 years old. Well, you've already put in lots and lots of hours, so it will vary. So again, just look at what you've been doing and what skills that you've been building already, and then you won't be starting from square one. These are just things you really need to look at. Like I said, figure out what you can do for hours at a time. Figure out what skills you're gonna need to excel at your job, and if you already have a natural affinity towards them. And then experiment, try things out. I discovered that I could edit videos for hours and hours and hours. And it's repetitive and mechanical, but I like it. I like to watch myself. And that's how I really decided to start getting into YouTube and filming videos. I feel like when I'm talking to the camera, I'm talking to people, so I have some kind of connection going on, and I really like doing this. I like YouTube, so those are just some thoughts for you guys. I hope that this helps and kind of pushes you in the right direction, gives you some ideas, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about what to do if you get cheated on. It sucks to get cheated on, so the first thing that you need to do when you find out that you haven't been cheated on is realize you are not the problem. The first typical reaction that someone can have when they get cheated on is, what is the matter with me? You think it's your problem?